Yes, my name is Herman Omilgoituk. I'm a proud Inuit man. I reside in the city of Welland, and I suffer from PTSD. On the night of January 19, 2020, the Niagara Regional Police showed up to where I was staying. I was already asleep, whereas I was not feeling well. I had taken my sleeping pills around 6:30 p.m. and went to bed. Around 8:30 p.m., I'd woken up for a drink. I walked upstairs from a dark basement into a well-lit area upstairs. At the top of the stairs were two people who I could only see a dark shadow of. They did not identify themselves. The male started screaming, "Is that him? Is that him?" I stepped back not knowing what was going on. The constable then grabbed me, both hands around my throat. I then threw my hands between his hands to break his stranglehold, thinking that I was being home invaded, to which the female officer called for help and then start running towards me. That's when we all fell to the floor. As soon as the male stood up, he pulled out his taser, which didn't work. So he stood on my throat until I passed out. When I come to, I was confused, not knowing where I was to. I was then flipped over on my stomach and beaten and cuffed. I was then pulled out of my home barefoot in pajamas and freezing temperatures and made to stand by the SUV for around 10 minutes in freezing temperatures. When I asked to be placed in the SUV, the male officer then said, "You're a dirty skeet wagon burner from the Northwest Territories. You're not going to freeze to death." He then clinched me in my head and kneed me in my forehead, to which I was busted open. When my blood landed on him, he started screaming, "You better not have effing AIDS," and then charged me with spitting blood on him. For some reason, he thought because I was Inuit, I wouldn't be cold and that I would have AIDS. That night, I suffered broken ribs, a concussion, and frostburn to my feet. I was diagnosed with PTSD 12 years ago, and now I suffer from flashbacks from a childhood assault and now the assault from Niagara Regional Police. It's very clear that racism is within the Niagara Regional, but how can you prove it when they come in two at a time for one person and it's your word against them? It's what you can prove. I honestly thought it was a waste of time to complain for that reason. Other people are always in there beat up by the police. It was only by chance my ribs were broken that the SIU looked into it. I'm in total fear for not for myself, but for my son, for he has the same last name. If Niagara Regional Police can do what they did to me, then why wouldn't they do it to my son? When Niagara Regional proved that night, they wouldn't protect him. Thank you.